name's Rachel and I'm going to show you how to do mountain pose. This is an excellent pose to start with to help you to balance out your body. So if you've got any aches and pains somewhere in your body, first thing to take a look at is the way you're standing. So first of all, we're going to plant our feet with your toes facing forwards, approximately about with your feet about hip width apart. Now this is actually narrower than you might think. So if you imagine you don't want them touching, you don't want them too wide, so just shuffle them in. If you're not sure, practice this in front of a mirror. In fact, I really recommend you do that because then you can have a look at your body and see how you're aligned, because you might be doing things subconsciously that you don't actually realise you're doing. So we're going to start from the ground upwards. So to begin with, take a look at your feet. Now try to position them so that you've got your toes spread out nice and wide. They're facing forwards, and then as you look at your feet, try to imagine the four corners of each foot. So you've got on your left foot, it will be over by your little toe. On your right foot, it will be over in the corner of the pad just below your big toe. And then try and imagine the front right corner of your foot, so opposite. So it will be little toe for your right foot, big toe for your left foot. Then the right towards the back of the heel, of each heel, and then towards the left of the back of each heel. So they're your four corners. Now what we want to do is aim to have your weight evenly distributed between all four corners. So in order to do that, we're going to start by standing still, plant your feet and make little circles with your body. So just really subtle little circles to begin with, and then widen them out, and feel as we do that, you're almost massaging the bottoms of your feet. Now you'll get wobbly if say you leave one foot behind and just focus on one, you're going to go all over the place. But if you try to evenly distribute your weight, so you're going these corners and your weight's 50-50 on both feet, front right 50-50, front back 50-50, back left 50-50, and then get yourself into a bit of a motion where you're circulating. Once you've got that idea and that process going through your mind, make your circles smaller until we get back into the middle, and try and find a place where you can feel your weight completely evenly distributed throughout all four corners of both of your feet. So you don't want your left foot to be taking more than your right, or your right to be taking more than your left, and you don't want to be leaning too far back or too far forward. You just want to imagine it completely even, and that is your center. So that's really good grounding. One way to find out if you found it is if you try and lift your toes up. Don't worry if you can't do this, but if you can lift your toes up and you're not going wobbly, you're not going anywhere, that's pretty good indication that you found where you're meant to be. So that's perfect. Right, the next thing up are your knees. So you want a slight micro bend. So you don't want to be bending down into a squat, and you don't want your legs to be locked. That's no good for you at all. So you just want like a slight micro bend in your knees. And then we're going to come up to our pelvis. So the pelvis is essentially, if you think of it as a big bowl, and say it's full of water. Now the position you want your pelvis to be in is one that would not spill that water. So to get there, we're going to lean it forwards as if you were tipping the water out the front. Now for this, you're basically sticking your bottom out behind you. That's no good. And then we're going to do the same but towards the back. So that means tucking your tailbone down towards the ground, and sucking your lower abs and your tummy in, and you're basically sending the water out of the back of your bowl. And then you want to find somewhere that's in between those two. So you're not, consciously not leaning forwards and arching your back. So from the side, you haven't got this sort of motion. You also haven't gone so far back that you've locked yourself in and your pelvis is coming too far forward. You want to release and find a nice central position. So you've got your feet, you've grounded your feet, you've got a micro bend in your knees, and you want your pelvis to be in a nice central position. Imagine it just facing upright. If it helps, if you pop your hands, your fingers on your 2 hip points, and just, you can feel the motion. So as you practice going front, back, and then you should feel a nice central position. Lovely. Now we're going to work on the rest of our body. So as we go up, you want to sort of engage your abdomen, and that means, so if you're someone who does arch your back quite a lot, you might find that your ribs are stretched out a bit. You want to tuck your lower ribs in. They want to be tucked in and locked in without going too far concave and slouching your back over. So you want to find like a nice engaged abdomen. And then from here, we're going to work on our shoulders. So to find a nice position for your shoulders, first of all, you're going to squeeze your shoulders back. And if you've got any sort of stress or strain in your shoulders, you might feel a really strong pinch or a pull here if you've got tight pecs. So squeeze them backwards, and then we're going to go the other way. So we're going to arch our back so that the shoulders are coming forwards, and give that one a go. Squeeze. Then we're going to squeeze our shoulders up to our ears, high as we can. Squeeze up, and then we're going to push them down, and then release. Now when you release, that is center. That's where you found it. If you don't think you've quite got it and you feel like you're still too far forwards, backwards, hunched up to your ears, try it again. Go through the motions again. Try this, try that. You might feel a nice stretch as you're doing all of this, and then release, and you'll be in center. Now for our neck now, so we don't want to be slouched too far forward, we don't want to be arching it back. So what you want to do is imagine your spine, and you want a nice tall spine. It's not naturally, our spine has curvature, so don't worry too much about it being completely straight. But what you do want to do is imagine the absolute crown of your head reaching up towards the sky, reaching, and trying not to pull your shoulders down. Your shoulders are nice and relaxed, but you're reaching the crown of your head up towards the sky, and you're going to do an ever so slight tuck of your chin. So not all the way down to your chest, but just ever so slightly tuck your chin, and then release your arms, and that is mountain pose. Now really, yes, it is just standing, but it's standing in such a way that you've positioned and balanced your weight of your body evenly, which is really good for your body to help to realign. And it might bring to surface where you're holding tension in your body, or if you have an injury or something like that that might need addressing. Obviously, if you do have anything like that, please do go and see a medical professional and get that looked at. But this is a really good posture to practice, to help you to find alignment, and to, if for whatever reason, if it's from an old injury or just poor posture, whatever it is, for years you might have been standing in such a way that was bad for your body. A really common one we see is standing on one hip, or slouching, or whatever it is. So this is a really good way to help your body to find center. And the more you practice this, the more this will become second nature, and your body will be aligned. Because quite often the pain we feel isn't necessarily from the original injury or the original issue. It's actually from years and years of poor posture and overcompensating, which has meant that all of your muscles have ended up in another position to what they're supposed to be. Whereas in this position, this is how your body will best support you. This is what our musculoskeletal system is meant to be like. So this is how we are. Obviously, as we move and go around our daily lives, we're going to move our body and things are going to end up in different positions. But this is the ideal position. And as you move forward to other poses, you will find that there are elements of this, because you can think about, are my legs aligned? Are my hips facing forward? Are my shoulders in a position? Don't want them too tightly hunched or down. So even if I did, for example, something like Utkatasana, tabletop, I'm still thinking about that bodily situation. I'm still thinking about my posture throughout and how I'm holding all of those elements and not punching too far up, too far down. So yeah, it's a really, really good foundation. Once you've got this practice, you might find it's quite difficult to hold. So even in this position, try to relax into it. But you know, it might take a couple of minutes or 30 seconds, and you might start feeling pulls and pains and stretches in certain places. Don't worry about that. That's just your body adjusting and getting used to it. And you might find that those are the areas that you need to work on. But yeah, this is the starter video for now. I'll try to upload some more. If you have any requests or ideas of what you would like to see, then please